Hello, beautiful people. Stay to the end. We have a special reminder announcement just for you. Hello, everybody. This is Marshall, and thank you for watching. And for those who are new, welcome to The Process. And this is my lovely, handsome, adorable, and sexy husband, Vito.
Hello everybody, this is Vito. Welcome to the Process Life. This is my sexy, gorgeous, elegant, delicious wife of mine, Marshall. Yes. Come on, talk to me. What we got going on?
We're going to be talking about why is it so difficult to trust God in the wait.
Why?
Stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and we shall be back.
I wrote a song about it. Like, here it go. It's hard.
Alright, you guys, we are back.
Yes. I think the reason why it's kind of hard to trust God in the wait is because you have not really given your I would say give up your agenda.
Okay.
You have not given up your personal preference or what you prefer or what you want. How about you have not given up your want? How about you have not given up your lust?
Why was it difficult for you to wait when you were single?
Because I had my mind made up what I wanted to do. That's why. Because I didn't know about trusting on God. Because I wanted to do it on my own. So it's hard for a person to want to trust God or even have a desire to trust God because they have not come into that revelation that God is the one that does the connecting and not them. Especially when if you've always been told that he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain a favor in the Lord. So when you live off of that particular passage of what Solomon spoke about, you live according to that. So when he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing obtain a favor in the Lord. So when a man sees that, he's already naturally the type of person that he's a go-getter. He will go after something. You know, men are normally people who go and pursue, you know, go and do things. And you know what? And I'm not saying that women don't do that either now, because you have women that does pursuing too as well. Mm-hmm. All right. I think both men and women have their areas where both of them pursue. But when a man who you know, it's just something about a man. It's something that when he sees something that he likes, he's already made up in his mind that he wants what he sees. He wants that. And then he feels that he is the one who knows how to make the right choice, or, he knows what he's doing. That's basically what a man does, which is pride, really. Mm-hmm. Nothing but pride. You know, when a man is doing it, he's operating in pride. So, in my situation, that's basically where I was. I was operating in pride. So pride would be the main thing that I would say that is a challenging thing for a man from a male perspective. And women can operate in pride too as well. It ain't just men. Women can operate. Give me an example
when you say pride, operating pride.
You making up your mind. You feel like you know what you're doing. You feel like that you're the one doing it. You feel like you are the one that is in control. You know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you want, but you think that you know how to find it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You think you know exactly where to go to get it, mm-hmm. what you're looking for. So that pride thing is one of the things that what really, really hinders I would say a male. Because when the male is operating off of pride, they don't believe that they're wrong. So therefore, if they don't believe that they're wrong, why would they wait on God? Okay, so them believing that they're right about what they're doing, as far as pursuing, it's going to be difficult for them to wait on God only if that's what they're operating off of. But once God knocks on their heart, once God knocks on their heart and they are willing to open up the door and allow God to come in, and God brings all of his way of doing things to that particular person or that man or what, then that's when that man becomes broken. Okay, and then when he becomes broken, then he's willing to humble himself. Then it turns from pride to being humble now. Okay. And then they're operating in humbleness from there.
Got it. We actually did a survey in our private Facebook group, and we asked that question, and that was the question. The question was, what is the hardest part about trusting God? And I just want to share some of the responses. One person said, looking at your certain circumstances and knowing how things will pan out in the future. So, I'm sorry, looking at your current circumstances and not knowing how things will pan out in the future. Not looking at your current condition and not worrying, but it's got so much better now, she was saying. This person said, I would say waiting on what he has in store for me and not really knowing what direction he could take you. Not allowing the process itself to distract you from focusing on him. Knowing that God will, but the agony not knowing how or when. This person says, as far as a husband, will it be someone that this person's attracted to, that she's worried about? So these are some of the things that some people in the group said.
Can I add something?
Yes.
I would like to also add to this with me, to that pride. Pride/trust. That goes together. Or you can swap it. Trust/pride.
Okay.
It's hard to wait on God. Or it's hard to, because we're talking about trusting in God, right? But it's hard to trust God when you're not used to trusting God. You see what I'm saying? So if you're not used to trusting God, and you're used to doing things on your own, and you're used to seeking out what you want, and you never given it no thought to trust, put trust into someone that you can't see. Put trust into someone that you only hear about, but you have had some experiences with him being in your life at times. You have seen the miracles and some miracles that he has exercised in your life, but to actually have a relationship with him to the point where you're able to trust, it takes relationship to trust God, to be able to wait on God. So
I know when I was single, and even now when you're waiting on certain things, sometimes it can get difficult. But when I was single, in regards to waiting on my husband, the reason to me is that when you have a strong desire for something and you don't see the manifestation, and you see time is ticking, and you see other people are actually operating already or being blessed in their manifestation and you're not, a lot of times the distractions of what you want and desire, you see other people have it and you don't. That makes it more difficult. Also, another thing is that when our desires are greater than our desire for God, and our focus is only on God, only on what we want and not on God, that makes it even the more difficult. Because God's thoughts and time is not like ours. His ways are not like ours. So my 10 years is nothing to God. But I feel like 10 years is a long time, and why am I still waiting? And and it's like the more the desire strengthens, or the more it gets stronger, it's overwhelming. The reason why I know, for me, the reason why it was getting stronger is because that's what I was thinking about the most.
Yeah, you think about being married.
That's what I was feeding the most. What you feed
got stronger for you too.
Will grow. What you feed will strengthen. So if I was feeding my desire, more than I was feeding the desire that God has for me.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So God had to let me know the reason you're still waiting is because you have put your desire before mine.
Mm-hmm.
You have made your personal desire an idol.
Say the personal part again. Personal desire as an idol.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we can't do that. Even if God places it in us. Do you know that anything that he places in us,
right.
we can actually take that and worship it, praise it, consume it.
And manufacture.
And forget the blesser who gave it to us.
Right.
Instead of us giving it back to him. Does that make sense? When God placed Vito in my heart, when he dropped him in my spirit, I could have consumed that. I could have said, oh, it's a man. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, this, and that. And it could have consumed me to the point of me getting out of God's will.
She would have missed her blessing.
So what happens is God planted the desire, and I gave that plant right back to him, put it on the altar, and let it die.
Yes.
And if God wants to resurrect it,
yeah.
he can. But understand, when I brought it and took it back to God, I left it. I didn't go back to it. I didn't revisit it. I didn't do any of that. No, I didn't go back up there and see was it growing.
Yes.
Okay, let me see what is that.
What is that plant doing? What I was wearing the next day. Yeah.
No, it was a done deal. And then in 3 months, here he come calling me. That's what we have to learn to do. Even if God reveals something to you. We hear a lot of women say, well, God showed me my husband, or God told me his name, or, God told me whatever. Take whatever you feel is God, and if you give it back to God, he'll let you know if it was him or not.
Right.
Versus you thinking it is him, and then you pursuing it, and you get your feelings hurt.
Some people don't know how to give it back to God. Some people take it as what you're saying and think that they're supposed to they're supposed to lean on that as the hope nature.
We're supposed to put our hope in God, not the thing.
Because once he showed it to me, I know who my husband is, or I know who my wife is, but they don't understand to give it back to God because God can be in the preparational stage,
like he did with me,
to be able to receive.
Yeah.
When that individual, when you started to go even further than that, your thought pattern, when you start to take more than what God gave you and turn it in and try to manufacture and manipulate it for it to happen, that's when God is going to back him and say, I didn't tell you for that. And just because he put someone in your heart, that doesn't mean necessarily that's going to be your spouse. That's just happened to you.
Yeah.
It could be where he's saying, no, I'm just putting that person in your heart because I want you to pray for them.
Yeah, right.
It can be either way. That's why it's so important to communicate with your Father when things like that come to your heart. You need to immediately go into prayer. Okay, God, why? Because didn't you say something about when that came to your heart, you had started praying because you was like, wait a minute, hold on.
That was a devil, a distraction. Yeah, absolutely.
So you took the initiative
immediately
to go to God in prayer about that situation. You didn't take it and try to manufacture or manipulate it for it to come to, and then assume, that this is going to be concrete. You need it. You understand what I'm saying?
I could have easily went to someone and got his phone number.
Exactly.
I could have tried to, position myself in front of him so that he can, notice me. I didn't do any of that. But let me tell you why I was able to take it to my father immediately. Because we already had an immediate, intimate relationship.
Yeah.
When you have that immediate connection with your father, that's the first thing you want to do is run to your father and let him know what's going on.
When he already knows what's going on because he's the one that's...
Right. But when you don't have that relationship, that's not going to be the first thing on your mind.
Yeah.
If you have the relationship with the desire that you want, that's what you're going to run to.
Yeah.
Because that's what's in your heart.
Yeah. Anxious.
You've been anxious. You've been impatient. You don't want to wait.
Right.
So that's what makes it difficult to trust the God that should be in the process because you're trusting your flesh to make the process happen.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why it's hard to trust God, because we do, like my husband said, we have our own agenda. We have our own pressures. We have our own
will.
Thought of what we want, or what we think we want.
We have a free will.
And what we think will fill the void of being lonely, of not having that person, not having that intimate relationship. And then, oh my God, don't get older and you think life is about to come to an end because you just turned another age and you still not married. God said, where's your trust? And a lot of times the reason that we're still waiting is because God is trying to get you to trust Him and Him alone, and not the blessings that you think should come along to you. Okay? Make sense? Anything else there? So we just want to definitely let you guys know, trusting God means examining your own desires. Examining, are your desires lining up with God's desires for your will, before His will? Even if He put it in your spirit, it's safer with Him than it is with you. Because if you keep it with you, with us, we're going to mess some stuff up. So we want to go ahead and give those desires and put it back in a safe place where it came from, if it was God. Because think about this, even if it wasn't God and you take it and give it back to Him, guess what? He'll make sure that you don't get hurt by it. If it's something that the enemy gave you and you thought it was God, you can even give that back to God, and you will realize, oh Lord, that wasn't God at all. Because He will protect His children. He's going to protect that. But He can't do that if you don't let Him. If you don't give it back to Him, and you think that you got it going on, and you think you heard God for yourself, and you think that you can't make a mistake. Listen, I had a relationship with God, and I still knew whatever desires that came in interest for Vito, to give it back to Him. I wasn't going to pursue. I wasn't going to try to put myself in front of Him. I wasn't going to try to position myself. None of that. But then He was preparing me, because 3 months later, it's like, wow, okay, now I see why that happened for the 3 months to happen. Yep.
Absolutely.
So I hope you guys got something out of this video. I do want you guys to understand that we're not saying that trusting God is easy. It is not. We've been there. We've done that. But it's easier when you go to God and pray and ask Him to give you the strength to wait, to give it to. It's gonna come, but it's gonna get difficult. Challenges will come. The waiting process is not as easy as we may be talking it. Trust me, easier said than done.
It is.
But you have a Father during those difficult times that can ease those pressures from you if you just give it to Him.
You definitely gonna get pressures all over.
Absolutely.
Like on top of all of the stuff that what you already
going through.
Going through.
But guess what? We also have a survivor kit, another free survivor kit for you. It's a 10-page survivor kit, and it has reasons. 10 pages or 10 questions? 10 page. It's a 10-page survivor kit that
taking them to college or something?
that we created just for you. It gives you 3 reasons why.
10 pages?
Yes, 3 reasons why it's difficult. It gives you steps to effectively trust God in your wait.
I don't think you hear me ask you that question.
It's also have resources of references during those hard times. We have videos in there, so you guys click the link below. You will go ahead and sign up, get your survivor kit immediately, and you can download and you'll have it with you at all times, okay?
Survivor kit.
I love for you.
10 pages.
There's a survivor kit for hearing God. If you want, hear God's voice.
Yes.
There's a free survivor kit. You can click onto that as well for those who don't have it. And then we also have another 10-page survivor kit, Trusting God in the Wait. All right? I want to say thank you for all those who are new, who have been emailing us and just inspiring us and encouraging us. Thank you and welcome to the family. And for those who've been riding with us from day one, we love you guys. We're just thankful for you. We're honored that you actually trusted God in us to speak to you. Okay?
Or for you guys to just, be able to come here and get confirmation on what God has dealt with you about, concerning your little personal endeavors or personal experiences that you've experienced. And we thank you so much, and we thank you for shopping. Build a square.
Y'all see, he done cut his...
I cut it all off.
He cut it all off.
I was tired of it, y'all. I was looking rugged sometimes. I got tired of it. I had to fix it up. My little mascara and stuff like that. Mascara, what you want to call it. I had to take it and touch it up here and there because I got grays and stuff. And I just got, I needed a break. So when I did it, y'all.
I walked in.
Listen, y'all. Brothers, you can't give your wife a shock, okay? When she used to see you a certain way, when she walked in as I was doing it, and when she walked by, to where she was kind of like, I guess she was focused on doing something, but then she just so happened to glance at me when I was in the mirror doing the shave, and she didn't look like... And then she tried to play it off. She don't think I know that she was trying to play it off. And she was like, oh, look at your mustache. It's cute and all that. But deep down inside, I know she was like, God darn it. No, he didn't. Golly.
At least he left something. I thought he was going to cut everything. I thought he was going to cut all of the hair off his head, off his face.
No, we know how we look by that when I could do that.
But you still keep it.
But hey, I needed a break.
It's smooth.
So I needed a break. Well, it was smooth. Oh. It don't grew overnight, so. But yeah, I feel much better.
All right, you guys, leave a comment below. Let us know what's your biggest struggle in waiting on God. And also, what used to be your struggle, and maybe God has helped you or delivered you. Share it with us in the comments field. We do love you. This is your process. Embrace it. Trust it. Love it. Be you.
Keep moving.
And keep it moving.
Keep moving.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
I forgot to remind you, we are conducting our last class this Saturday, October 26, 2019 at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You do not want to miss this class. This class, we're going to be talking about how do you know you are truly in the will of God. You're going to get all the PDFs, all of the quizzes. So you have not missed anything if you haven't come to any of the classes, because you're going to get everything that we've talked about. So if you want more information, go to the processlife.com and register, or check out the information in the description box, and we hope to see you there. Love you guys. Bye.